many people aren't aware of the power of our mind and our emotional states of being to change our physiology, to change our biology. And obviously in my case, I was able to become my own placebo and use willpower, intention, and heightened emotions to heal my brain from critical head injuries and heal my body from a broken right shoulder and broken spine. I broke my back in 6 places. And after I came out of that coma, I walked out of hospital 10 days later. And I have no pain at all, no disability and no pain in my body. So initially, my research was just looking into how is this possible. Obviously, we know that an empty tablet, a sugar pill, heals people, that it's scientifically proven and medically documented. The power of hope and believing that something's going to make us better, and then taking an inert substance like a placebo, that patients then get better. But the reverse is true as well. So the opposite of a placebo is a nocebo, and it means to harm. And what a lot of people aren't aware of is if you have a belief or a perception that something can harm you, then it can harm you. And I will reference a study that I discovered through Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And this is a famous nocebo study where they took these kids that were highly allergic to poison ivy. And they got them all there, and then what they did is they got just a leaf out of the garden, which was not poison ivy, and in no way could any human be affected by this leaf. But they told all the kids in this study that it was. So at this point, the kids have been primed, conditioned to believe something. And then they wiped this totally harmless leaf on all of their arms, and 100% of these kids developed symptomology, burning, pain, stinging in the area. So what it gets even more incredible is they then took the real poison ivy and took the opposite arm. They took their other arm and they said, this is just a leaf from the garden. This can't harm you in any way. And they wiped real poison ivy on these kids' arms. And 84% of these kids developed no symptomology. Just think about that for a second. They are in the study because they're highly allergic to poison ivy. But by being primed and being given the suggestion that this can't harm you, the belief was strong enough to bring about some sort of change within their body that allowed 84% of them to be immune to its effects. So the most important thing in this world, the quality of your life, the quality of our health, ultimately is what we believe. So the beliefs we hold to be true arise almost entirely from the subconscious. So we're not even really aware that we believe these things, but they are governing our state of health and our thoughts, choices, actions, and emotional states every single day. And what you believe about the world determines how you perceive the world. and what the latest scientific studies into the mind-body connection and into the new field of biology, the latest biology, known as epigenetics, tells us is that perception is what creates expression. So the way we are actually perceiving our outer environment determines the way the cells in your body, those 70 trillion cells, respond. Epigenetic studies are proving that almost all of our genetic expression is happening because of signals in the environment. So when I'm talking about the environment, we can say the environment of you, of your body, but the environment internally, the environment of the cell. And the cell membrane responds to either physical inputs, physical stimuli, like a chemical messenger arriving in that environment of the cell and then docking on a receptor side, or they can respond to emotion, specifically energy. So scientists have looked at what brings about the biggest change in the health of our body. What brings about the biggest change in our gene expression? Is it physical input? Is it a chemical landing on its receptor, or is it energy? And they've found that cells are 100 times more susceptible, more greatly impacted by changes in the energy, because the cell membrane has these little antennae on them, and they are reading changes in the electromagnetic frequency outside of the cell. So all of our thoughts and beliefs and perceptions are impacting the health and vitality of the body. And a belief that something is dangerous, like in the kids in the study, brings about a different perception, so they read their environment in a different way. And their entire immune function and biology was able to change from a kid that's highly allergic to poison ivy to a kid that was completely unaffected. That's the power. That's the power. And then in the case of the harmless leaf, something in their environment that they were sure they had been primed and conditioned to believe that this will harm me, they were then harmed by it. That's why I said before, nothing is more important than the beliefs we hold to be true. In all walks of life, in our health, in our endeavors, in our friendships, in our quality of being able to experience joy and inner peace. Beliefs are either a prison cell that limit us, or the belief allows you to step into your actual potential, the real limitless potential that every one of us has inside. And I talk about this because it took me immense suffering and pain to unlock potential that had always been there. It had always been inside me, but I changed from a place of immense pain and a near-death experience, and all that time in hospital and surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery, to find out that these were just limitations in my mind, that they weren't even mine. They're just programs. And they were completely dictating the quality of my existence. Changed the belief. I became a different person, and I found out that they were wrong. They don't tell you the truth. They're not the absolute truth of what you can do in this world. Okay? So that's today's video. The most important thing is, what do you believe? What do you believe about sickness? What do you believe about health? Because just remember that by those children being made suggestible, something that cannot harm them was able to harm them. So that's today's video, damienhorton.com. You can find out more. I've still got a few slots available for mentoring and one-on-one coaching if you need extra help. If the videos have touched you in some way, there's a link below. You can make a donation for any amount that you feel I've been able to add value to your life. And link below to my new book, Limitless, Reconnecting with the Infinite Power Within. So you can find out how I did it, how I healed depression, healed my brain and body, and created a brand new life in the midst of immense suffering and pain, and turned it into something incredibly beautiful that's now inspired and helped thousands of people around the world. And you can do the same. I take you through all the steps, techniques, the choices, the mindset that you would need to turn adversity into gold, turn a disaster into your deliverance. And if I can do it, then you can absolutely do it. That's it, guys. Much love.